The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
The Dominic Carter Show
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Democrat elected officials, my God. And you want to know why I switched years ago and became a Republican? Democrats can't even get the sports information correct. Dominic Carter here with you on this Thursday, 800-848-9222. The phone lines are open right now. So the governor of New York State, Governor Kathy Hochul, up for re-election this year. She attempted to throw shade at President Trump. She attempted to throw some shade at the president after the president stated that he's a New York Knicks fan and plans on attending one of the championship games. So what does Governor Hochul do? She says for the president to name the team from the last championship year, but she gives the wrong year. She gives the year that they went to the finals, but they lost in the finals. So she attempted to throw shade, and she can't even get the date right. Another issue I'm dealing with this hour, among many, and I've tried to punt on this one, but it is ridiculous. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has joined the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus, get this, in urging African-American athletes to boycott the SEC. One of the biggest sports conferences in the country, in the world. If you're good enough to play in the SEC, chances are you got a shot at the pros. And Hakeem Jeffries wants African-American athletes to boycott. Why? Because of the redistricting issues. So, Mr. Jeffries, let me make sure I got this right. You do what's best for your career. You graduated from SUNY Binghamton. I graduated from SUNY Cortland. You do what's best for your career. You're in line to become Speaker of the House. But you want these athletes that can make millions in college now, and these athletes that have one shot coming from the hood to go to the pros, and you want them to say, no, I'm not doing it over the issue of redistricting. I don't think so. Delaney Hall, I'll have more on this throughout the hour. Newark, New Jersey, a truck driver went off on these anti-ICE nut protesters after they blocked him from doing his job as the Antifa thugs are battling agents. The goons are chanting, grab your guns and kill yourself. That's just wonderful. So, dramatic video shows a truck driver going berserk at anti-ICE protesters camped outside that detention center. Why don't you go get a life? How about that? Most of those protesters out there are not real. The other ones that are real are completely delusional. Listen to President Trump here on those protesters in Newark, New Jersey.
What's your message to the New Jersey leaders pushing back against ICE operations at Delaney Hall?
About ICE?
Yes.
Or about NICE, as I call it, NICE. The NICE facility. I'd love to change the name, call it NICE. They do a great job, and it's all paid for protesters. You can see by the signs. The signs are all made by the same beautiful factory. It's a printing plant. In fact, I'm thinking about using it. They do such a nice job. These aren't protesters. These people are fake. They're all paid for. And I will tell you, Tom Holman and that whole group, and now Mark Wayne is so incredible. Mark Wayne, do you want to just respond to that? Sure. We run the finest facilities anywhere in the world of their type. But we have some horrible killers. We have killers. We have guys that have murdered numerous people in there. And these are the people they're trying to protect. There's nobody that runs a facility like we do.
Thank you, Mr. President, for calling a spade a spade. You have murderers in there, and their baby mamas are outside going, no, 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 let them out. No justice, no peace. Why don't you go in the detention center with them? Better yet, why don't you get out of the country? How about that? 800-848-9222. Oh, Democrats, stuck on stupid. The elected officials. There's no other way to put it, folks. Governor Hochul tries to show shade on President Trump because President Trump announced that he, in all likelihood, is headed to a Knick championship game. It's not the first time he's been to a Knick game. There are photos of him when he was there quite a bit. So what does Governor Hochul do? She tries to do the game of one-upsmanship and fails terribly. Listen to what she has to say. You're going to hear it twice. It's so nice, you're going to hear it twice. Where she says, tell him to name the team, but she even has the wrong year by about 20 years. Listen to this.
I asked him to name the starting lineup from 1993 championship team and see how he does.
Boy, what a team. They win all their games. They have some great players. I think I'll be going to one of the games. I was invited by numerous people and Jim. And I think I'll be going.
Governor, what do you make of President Trump wanting to come to the NBA Finals? If the Knicks are basically playing, do you think that he would go and he would also sit with them?
No.
What do you think of him saying he's a lifelong Knicks fan? I think that's how the Times reported it.
I asked him to name the starting lineup from 1993 championship team and see how he does. If the president wants to come to a championship game in New York City, I suspect he'll also be at World Cup events. I mean, he comes to the fights. It doesn't affect what I do. My job is to keep New Yorkers safe and celebrate the extraordinary teams that we are blessed to have in here in the city of New York. So I don't see any problem with him coming.
So Governor Hochul says, name the starting five of the 1993 New York Knicks championship team. Governor, they didn't win in 93, okay? The last time the Knicks won the NBA championship was the late 70s. Get your facts right. But while you're doing that, Governor, why don't you pick up the phone and call Hakeem Jeffries and tell him to do the same? Imagine this, folks. Just imagine this. Just imagine this. Think about this for a second. You're a blue chip athlete out the hood. The first in your family to make it. The first in your family to go to college. You've got a shot at going to the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball. And Hakeem Jeffries comes along and says, because of redistricting, you ought to boycott and not go to the SEC, Championship League, to show solidarity with the black community. You cannot make this up. Listen to Mr. Jeffries himself.
This is an unprecedented moment featuring an unprecedented attack on black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
That's right.
We are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP and its call for athletes to boycott institutions within the SEC that belong to states that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics, which is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And we believe that the silence of these institutions is complicity. That's right. And we will not stand for it. With respect to the SCORE Act, our position has been clear. If LSU is for it, we're against it. If the University of Alabama is for it, we're against it. If Ole Miss is for it, we're against it. If the University of South Carolina is for it, we're against it. If the University of Tennessee is for it, we're against it. And if the SEC schools are for it, we are against it. And we will continue to stand against it.
We got the point, Mr. Jeffries. Everything is Jim Crow, Jim Crow. Everything is Jim Crow. One problem with that argument, we've had a black president named Obama. Another problem with that argument, what about Oprah and all these other African-American billionaires running around? But I know Jim Crow, it sounds great. Let's start with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Line 2, Veronica in Belmore, New York. Good afternoon, Veronica. What's on your mind?
Hi. You received a call a few weeks ago about a situation about a mosque being built in Wandsworth, New York. And I know you've been speaking about the uprise and the prayer over the loudspeakers. Well, there's a law that's been passed that all these houses of worship, it's a federal law passed by Clinton in 2003, I believe. It's called the All-Lupa Law. And this is what all these religious organizations are using as defense, and all these towns are caving. It's called the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Peoples Act, and it's to protect, rightfully so, religious discrimination. But it's a federal law, and it's dwindling and destroying a lot of localities and states. So we have to get
but wait, but Veronica, you say that these towns are caving, right? It's not that simple. On the surface, it may look like that. But these towns, of which I live in one, they have limited dollars to fight lawsuits. And one of the best kept secrets is that if you've got deep pockets to tie a town up in court, eventually they're going to cave because they can't afford to keep up the legal battle. You do understand that, right?
Yes, I understand. And that's why this is a federal law that needs to be modified or looked at.
Now, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on
the
that.
Effect of it wasn't. It's unintended damage. You know, it was done for a good reason, but now it's being used, and it's hurting a lot of the states and the cities and the small towns. We have a church, a historically black landmarked church in Wandsworth that was built by newly freed slaves, that was bought by this Muslim organization, and they desecrated the property that it's on.
Hey, Veronica, with all due respect, let me ask you a question. So you said a historical black church, right? So if they were able to come in and buy it, whose fault is that?
It was the...
No. Please focus on what I'm saying, because this is what I often say to black leaders. If somebody else was able to come in and buy it, whether it's a white community or not, whose fault is that?
No, you're right. I mean, they got a good price on the deal, but what I'm saying is it's historically landmarked, and they're not respecting any of the...
Right. I hear you. It's an argument I hear all the time. Veronica, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Gene, line 5, Mount Vernon. Gene, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hi, Dominic. The new mayor of New York is saying it's okay if the president wants to come and see a Knicks game. And the president has been living in New York all his life. Of course, he should be welcome to come to New York for a Knicks game. I'm sure he's seen them before.
Well, you know, Gene, the problem that I have with your premise, who the hell is Mom Donnie to say it's okay for Mr. Trump and come see a Knicks game? I believe Mr. Trump was going to Knicks games before Mom Donnie was born with that silver spoon in his mouth.
I'm sure he was.
Gene, thank you for the wonderful call. Folks, we see your calls. I've got to take a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And I am looking at my Twitter at my ex, the lovely Donna Marie in Philly, says she wouldn't miss this 3 o'clock show for the world. Thank you very much, Donna Marie. She goes on to say, would Mr. Jeffries, Hakeem Jeffries, House Minority Leader, give up his own career for a stellar athlete? She capitalizes the word never. The lovely Debbie Lebedo, Staten Island, says Hakeem says 2 things. Redistricting is because the blacks are stupid and cannot choose wisely. Number 2, the success of the athletes is not important. It's only about controlling his community and keeping them stupid on the plantation. A power play. And so Cassandra Van Poel has something very interesting, and I think President Trump should take you up on this. She says, do you think POTUS should invite Netanyahu to the Knicks game he plans to attend? That would be a way of sticking it to Mamdani. Mamdani says if Netanyahu steps 1 foot in New York City, he will have him arrested. So if he's with the President of the United States, what are you going to do then? Netanyahu, not Netanyahu, meaning Mamdani, the mayor of New York City. What are you going to do then? Let's go to hater number 1 in terms of the phone calls. Line number 3, Marco in New Jersey. What's going on, Marco?
Yeah, how you doing? So they're not protesting, murderers or rapists. They're protesting people that go to court that are trying to get their paperwork done.
River.
And then they get arrested and held.
Cry me a river. Boo.
Why don't they just, if they want to take them, just send them over. Just send them back home.
That's what I'm saying. Show them to the door and get them out. But your Democrat buddies will block Trump every step of the way. You don't think he would do that if he could? Nobody wants to look at him or tolerate him. Get them out of the country. I agree with you, Marco.
But they're detaining nonviolent criminals.
Oh, nonviolent criminals. Nonviolent criminals. And what about the fact that they're pimping Americans? What about that, Marco? Where senior citizens are starving and have to choose between paying rent or eating while illegals are here pimping the American taxpayer. What about that?
Ask yourself, what do the Jews do? The Jews do the same thing.
Oh, cut him off. Cut him off. We don't do the anti-Semitism thing on the Dominic Carter show. Stop hating on other people, Marco. Now you're in a timeout. Normally I can tolerate your stupidness, but you are in a timeout. And as I say after every time I take your call, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I can't imagine being this dude's woman. Can you imagine having dinner with him? Having to listen to Marco for more than 15 minutes? I'd shoot myself. When I say I bang my head on the table here on the set, I'd bang my head on the dinner table every minute for 15 minutes, every 1 minute that I had to listen to Marco. It simply is that bad. Let's see here. Let's go to Bob in Staten Island, line 2. Bob, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. I just wanted to point out a correction in your case. Nobody's right 100% of the time, but you said the Knicks won the NBA championship in the late 70s, but actually it was 1973.
Okay, I said the 70s. Is that the best you got, Bob? Is that the best you got? I said the late 70s, and it was 1973. Is that why you called up, Bob? Please tell me that's not why you called. Please tell me you got better than that. Please tell me, Bob, I got to toss to a heartbreak. Please tell me you got more than that. Time for a break. 800-848-9222. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Wait until the story I'm about to tell you. But I got your emails. I got your text messages. 8 a.m. in the morning, I'm in the pharmacy and CVS trying to solve my problem. So I mentioned it last night on the Midnight Show. I had a bump, right, like a pimple. But at home, where I live at in Rockland County, I've said this before, I'm convinced that they hide things from me just to mess with me. If I need gloves, I got 100 pair of gloves. I can't find one when I need it. If I need a spring jacket, every winter coat, 100 winter coats are there in the closet. I can't find the spring jacket. So I have a pimple over my right eye. And I couldn't find rubbing alcohol or put on it or witch hazel or anything like that, right? So Dominic Carter style, I completely ignore it. I ignore it. And it gets worse. So the pimple continues to grow. It grows. And so 8 a.m. this morning, I'm in the pharmacy. I was told to get Neutrogena, acne or something, right? So $15 for Neutrogena, acne for heavy, whatever. Then I'm told, no, that's not will help. So I asked the pharmacist, and the pharmacist says, Mr. Carter, go home and put a warm compress on it, and it did make it feel better. However, I woke up and it looked like Mike Tyson hit me in my right eye. My right eye started to swell. And so there's puffiness. It doesn't look like Mike Tyson hit me. There's puffiness in my right eye. So I'm rushing to try and get this thing done, to get this, because now, I have zero patience, if you haven't figured out yet, folks. Don't look at me like that, Carlos. I have zero patience. You or Philippe. Don't look at me like that. Zero patience. So I want it gone in 24 hours. And it's bigger than ever. It's going down now, but it's bigger than ever. So let's talk about the Bronx. A wacko with 41 prior arrests. 41 shoves a rider onto the New York City subway tracks, but is set free in court. Huh? You heard me right. You cannot make this up. A wacko, 41 arrests on his rap sheet. Arrested for shoving a Bronx subway rider onto the tracks Monday, then was promptly set free in court. You cannot make this up. Left the 47-year-old victim with a brain bleed when he pushed him onto the tracks on the 4 line, a line I used to ride all the time, during an argument on the platform at around 7 p.m. Charged with felonies and misdemeanors, as well as harassment, but set free on supervised release. He never showed up for a required check-in, and a warrant has been issued for his arrest. Cannot make this stuff up. Cannot make this stuff up. Just like you can't make up Governor Hochul trying to show shade on President Trump over the New York Knicks, and she gets the days wrong.
What do you think of him saying he's a lifelong Knicks fan? I think that's how the Times reported it.
I asked him to name the starting lineup from 1993 championship team and see how he does.
And what are
They didn't win the championship in 93, Governor. Sorry. Let's go back to your telephone calls here. Let's go to Robert, line 3, North Carolina. Robert, what's going on?
Good afternoon, Dominic. I hope you get better.
Thank you.
Hakeem, redraw your district lines. You gerrymandering racist fool. Let's see. I
don't get it. Hey, Robert, explain this to me, right? So me and you, let's say me and you grew up in the hood, right? We grew up in the hood, and we're athletes, and we get a 1 in a million shot. Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. They all want us to come play ball for their team. Now, we benefit immediately with a $60,000 a year scholarship. Now the athletes are paid for their names. So we're going to get $1 million each, plus the $60,000 scholarship, plus the platform to go to the pros. And Hakeem Jeffries says, no, turn that down to support your community over redistricting. Does that make sense to you, Robert?
Oh, no, I can't see any of these players giving anything up for that fool.
I mean, a once in a million lifetime to get out of the hood and change the financial situation for your generational wealth. You can go on to if you make it to the pros, to a $500 million career, and you're supposed to say, nope, I'm not going to the SEC because Hakeem Jeffries says that I shouldn't do it. Hey, Robert, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Robin, line 4 in Brooklyn. Robin, what's on your mind?
I just think it's ridiculous with Hochul being in office, because I don't know how she got in office, for number one, Dominic. She was just put in office, and her saying that my president should not be coming to the game. She has a lot of nerve. She shouldn't be in office. And another thing about Mr. Mondami with his corny self, all of them are so full of it. I told you I woke up and I realized that I was in the wrong party. I was in the Democrats for so many years.
I did the same thing too, Robin. I did the same thing. I'm going to let you finish. This happened years ago, because my friends, and this is what happens in the black community. My friends tried to shame me into staying a Democrat. And I was like, wait a minute. I would be a fool to stay a Democrat, just like you're a fool to be a Democrat. This is what I would say to my friends. And so I woke up too one day and then said, I'm not hiding this. I am a very proud Republican. The Republican Party stands for, they represent for what I feel is important. Go ahead, Robin.
They're not doing nothing. I work for the school system. And you know what? The kids are getting dumber and dumber. They're not learning a damn thing. I'm sorry. You know, people are talking about me, saying the things about the school system. And I said, you know what? I am so sorry to be a part of this system when I see you got kids coming from elementary to middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade on the 3rd grade reading level. And when they leave out to go to high school, they maybe be on the 5th grade reading level. Is that not appalling?
Hey, but the young ladies know how to twerk, and the guys know how to start a fight. So they got street credibility, Robin. That's all that counts. The young ladies know how to twerk. They know how to do that well. And the young men know how to be twerked on and start a fight. So, I mean, so how long are you going to stay with the school system?
Dominic, what they trying to stop me from getting out. I want to go with the states doing the vocational thing. I'm tired of working with these people because I'm like looking at these people. You got a bunch of migrants, okay? That's due to the Democrats. I told you when I woke up and realized I first came to my building where I live at right now, there was nothing but Jewish, Italians, and Irish. I don't know what nationalities they're in. They got a mix, a bunch of West Indians and Puerto Ricans. I don't know where they're from, Puerto Rico or wherever. But still, I don't know who they are. And I'm like saying, I want out of this. It's not enough money to keep me here to dealing with this nonsense. I went to school and got my master's degree. I can tell you that.
Congratulations. Very proud of you for doing that. You persevered and you made it. Hey, Robin, thank you for the great call as always. Don't be a stranger. I want to hear from you. I really do, because you make a whole lot of sense. So I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. And so I'm looking at these comments. It says here, you'll have major relief. CVS Walgreens cannot believe the pharmacist did not tell you this. Sty. But it's not actually on my eyelid. That's what Louis Elman says. And then Liz Rosenblatt. Liz normally has the answer for me, everything health-wise. Liz says, what is this bottle here? Let me make this bigger. Liz says that I need Bye Blemish drying lotion, right? So the pharmacist said, don't pop it on its own. It'll pop. She says, all I need. But is this an Amazon thing, Liz, where I got to wait 2 days to get it? I need this thing gone today. I need it gone right now. Carlos is looking at me funny. Philippe is looking at me funny. I need it gone right now. To show you folks that I'm very fair, I have somebody on line 3, Dave, Long Island, apparently wants to say something good about Mr. 7%. Let's hear what Dave on line 3 has to say. Dave, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, and I love you. But listen, Mr. 7% saved us from Cuomo running for president.
Really? Oh, really?
And Mondami's going to self-destruct. He's not going to make 2 years.
He's not going to make 2 years. So you're flipping the script where Mr. 7% sold out everybody, and you're flipping this a net negative, and you're trying to turn it into a net positive.
You got it. I'm a positive kind of guy.
All right. Well, you can be a positive kind of guy, and I got nothing but love for you, Dave. But if you buy that logic, I got a nice bridge for you. And, Dave, I'll give you a special deal for that bridge. I'll sell it to you for only $1. If you have any faith in Mr. 7%, who is starting to get senile and is starting to talk about running for mayor again. Let's see here. Let's go to Jim, line 4, Staten Island. Jim, what's on your mind?
How are you today? I'm just thinking, as a small landlord, that my parents had some properties. I want the mayor and all the politicians that support these new bills that they're trying to put through to tell them if there's a politician that doesn't do his job right, we should be allowed to take away their salary and replace them. They're going to judge. The landlord. These guys aren't even good tenants.
Jim, I am feeling your pain. I love that idea, right? So I used to be a small landlord, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. I understand the con that tenants used to run, right? I thought me and my partner, we bought a small building in Harlem, 2 young black men, we were ready to take on the world. Boy, did reality have a different plan for us. We hadn't heard of something called professional tenants, where they pay a month's rent, month's security. You do as much a background check as you can. They get into your apartment and never pay rent again. And then you got to spend thousands to get them out in court, literally for legal fees, thousands of dollars. And so I like that, Jim. You know, Mamdani wants to take your property and so on. So, Mr. Mayor, if you do a bad job, let's take your salary. Right, Jim, as you just said.
Well, at least a landlord produces housing. These politicians produce zero. The cops protect us. The firemen put fires. What all these bureaucrats do? Absolutely nothing. But they're the black hole of our tax dollar. And they should. Why are they making all this money? They should be. If they're good citizens, let them volunteer. Let them pay a mortgage. Let them pay their health insurance. They get benefits. They get pensions. They get their legal fees paid for when they harass someone sexually. And then if I've got a light bulb out, I got a $500 violation, and if a tenant breaks my apartment, they call up the city, and I got to fix a broken thing that the tenant broke while I'm not getting rent. And if I demand my rent, I get letters that I'm harassing a tenant. And then they get legal aid that we pay for to cover their legal fees against us. It is insanity.
And you got to pay thousands for your lawyer. Yep, Jim, I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're talking about. Believe me, I understand. You know, we thought, me and my buddy, a retired cop and myself, we 2 young black men, we were ready to take on the world. We thought we were going to own Harlem and move up. And boy, we ran into professional tenants. And then the young ladies that bat their eyes at you so they don't have to pay rent, you know, and so on. The games that exist, nobody would believe it. Hey, Jim, thank you for the great call. So I'm looking at what Liz just sent, Rosenblatt. So bye blemish, right? So now when I get off, if I run to the nearest Walgreens or CVS, is the pharmacist going to look at me like I got 3 heads? Or is this something I got to order from Amazon? And I already went and bought the Neutrogena Extreme Acne, $15 for that. Right now, we're taking your telephone calls. Dean, line 2, Jersey City. Dean, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thanks for your time. Listen, if Hakeem Jeffries wants to take money away from the black college kids when they're trying to get to the pros, why doesn't he give up his salary while the kids are giving up their shot at the greatness, you know?
That's a great point. That's a great point. But think about it. And Dean, I got to take a break, but I love your point. Think about this. These kids got, they've worked so hard to get to the level of a college scholarship. And you've got major schools looking at them. And in their freshman year, they can make $1 million with their likeness and so on, plus the $60,000 for the scholarship. And it's going up even more, right? And you're supposed to say, no, I stand in solidarity with Hakeem Jeffries and the black community over redistricting. I'd rather starve than become a millionaire. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, final thoughts of the day. So Joe in Connecticut just told me for my pimple problem to use a tea bag. Sandra in New Jersey, a lot of you folks are sending me stuff, is telling me to try Neutrogena Rapid Clear, but she says the Neutrogena pads are better because I can leave them on my eye, over my left eye, not my eye, over my left eye. All I can say is thank God I don't have a public event to go to tonight, and I got to make sure these cameras, the social media team, they don't have these cameras going today. So that you know, put up a video. If you notice, you haven't seen a video of me the last 2 days, and that's because of my eye problem, my side problem. Jerry in New Jersey, line 4. Jerry, what's on your mind?
Your eye is on my mind.
Oh, okay.
Many years ago, my daughter had the same problem, and the ophthalmologist told me, which I did, take warm water, as warm as you can take it, with a little salt.
He didn't say salt, but go ahead.
And put it on your lid. And
wait. Put salt and what else now?
Warm, as warm a water as you can stand.
The pharmacist said that. He said if I can microwave it and take it.
No, the ophthalmologist, not the pharmacist.
Okay, that's what. I'm just telling you what the pharmacist told me because I'm too cheap to go to the doctor right off the bat. But anyway, so try that with some salt.
A little salted warm water, as hot as you can take it, with a cotton ball. Leave it on your eye and then take it 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. And hers went away the next day.
It'll go away the next. Now you're talking my language. It'll be gone the next day.
It will be gone by the next. It will definitely pop or ooze out, and that. Don't put any of that other stuff near your eye.
Right. I don't know. All I can do, Jerry, is say thank God that we don't have a public event tonight or something like that, and it's got to make sure that these cameras are not working here in the studio because the social media team, they'll put something up and it looked like I went around with Mike Tyson and he won. It's not that bad, but it's still there. Hey, thank you very much for the telephone call. Let's go to Mel, line 3, Saratoga. Mel, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, where's the pimple? Where? On your eye, top lid or bottom lid? Where? Where is it?
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk about Governor Hochul, but it's above my...
Talk about it too, but I want to give you a little advice. What to do.
Okay, go ahead.
DMSO. Take a cotton swab.
A cotton swab?
DMSO. There's a sulfate called DMSO. It's what we use on horses to break up scar tissue. It'll take that pimple you got down. If you take DMSO, you can get either gel or the liquid. Cotton swab, dip it in there, and just rub it on there lightly. And it'll take down that what you got going on your eye. But now, as far as Kathy Hochul is concerned, I'm born and raised in Saratoga Springs, New York. Even though I got relatives in Bethlehem, Brooklyn. But anyway, I want to let her know, Kathy Hochul, don't come here to contaminate my time. I'm an American who happens to be black, all of 68 years of age, and a registered Republican. Born and raised here in Saratoga Springs. And now she's going to come here for the Belmont Stakes, going to sit in the governor's box up there. And I'm about the point to where I'm going to go up there and give her a piece of my mind. I'm going to give God how much security she got around her to give her a piece of my mind.
Be careful giving her your mind because at a minimum, there are 3 state troopers with her at all times, at a minimum.
I'll present myself as a gentleman. Good afternoon, gentlemen. But I just want to say something to this woman here. I'm a former Democrat, never to go back. And what they've done to this state and what they've done...
I'm never going back either. I am never going back. I am a very proud Republican.
Yes. In fact, so was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a registered Republican. And there was plenty of Republicans back in the 1800s that had founded the Republican Party. So, I mean, black folks, many blacks. But anyway, Hiram, I'm done with these bastards. We're like indentured servants to these people. We're paying our taxes and to be used and abused. And just every 4 years, every 2 years, they want your vote.
They come running. Hey, Mel, I got to step in because I got to toss to the final segment here. Thank you for the call. On America's darkest day, 9/11, America vowed to never forget. Help our nation keep that promise. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I am back live at midnight with my pimple.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?